Welcome, everybody, back to the Friar Talk podcast and YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the Padres All-Stars. So, Mark Melancon, Yu Darvish, Fernando Tatis, and Jake Cronenworth were inducted into the All-Star game. I'm super hyped. Jake the Rake, we were advocating for him to make it. I was a little bit surprised that Melancon made it. Definitely happy that he did. I mean, he has been a really, really pivotal part of that bullpen early on. And yes, he's had his struggles recently, but he's a big reason the Padres were able to win a lot of games because he came in so many one-run situations. So props to all these guys. But Chase, I'll let you start, man. What was just your overall thoughts on these four guys making the All-Star team?
Well, we know for sure two of them were going to make it. Tatis absolutely deserved it. And then we all know Darvish has been one of the best pitchers in the league, especially at the National League. So we were kind of expecting him to make it. Cronenworth, for me, was like a swing and miss. He deserved to make it, but I didn't know if the system was going to reward him for actually being one of the better players in the league. And you know what? It ended up did, so I'm really happy about that. Melancon, you know what? I'm kind of surprised by considering his performances as of late, but you know what? Happy another Padre made it. It's just another team to represent San Diego. Another player to represent San Diego.
Yeah, I think it was a given that Fernando was going to make it. He's having an absolutely fantastic year right now. He's batting 305, 389 on base percentage with a 184. I don't even know how to 1084 OPS. That's how I'm gonna say it. I don't even really know how to say it, to be honest. But he's going crazy right now. Just having an amazing year. Jake Cronenworth absolutely deserved it. I still think he got snubbed. He should be the starting second baseman. He's having a really good year. That's not who's the starting second baseman, Frazier? I think so, right? He's having a good year. It's just, Jake has more. Jake's better in, I think, almost every category except batting average, I want to say. So, he's having a really good year. I wish the Padres had the starting middle infield. That would have been really cool to see. But overall, the Padres are the most represented team in the NL right now. Yu Darvish absolutely deserved it. Yu Darvish has been an absolutely amazing acquisition for us so far this year. I'm not exactly sure what his ERA is. It's in the twos for sure. I know that because I know it rose after the day he pitched.
I want to say it's 2.64 or 2.66.
Yeah, I think last time I checked it was like 2.3, something around there. And then obviously after the Phillies outing, it definitely rose. So he's still having a really good year though. Not that Phillies outing is an outlier compared to what he's done all year. And then Mark Melancon, I don't know if he's still the saves leader, but for a really long time he was a saves leader, and he was a very pivotal part of our bullpen. Very reliable out of the bullpen so far this year. I know he's had some tough outings lately. Coincidentally, it's after the sticky stuff went away. But also, you got to remember he's pretty fatigued. He's pitched in a lot of ball games, and you could say the same about Tim Hill and some of the other guys in the bullpen. But Mark Melancon has had to come in back-to-back days in some pretty big situations, and he's been able to pull through. So, it's great to see all these guys in the All-Star game. This is Fernando's first one. This is Jake's first one. It's cool that the middle infield kind of gets to share that together, and then Yu Darvish and Mark Melancon are veterans to the Midsummer Classic.
It'll be really cool to see Fernando get some early at-bats, and I mean, we know that the cameras are going to be all over him. Probably him, Vladdy, and Ohtani. I mean, those are the three faces of baseball right now. It's super cool to see. He was very obviously going to make it, but you talked about Melancon. I know I saw some people talking about Jansen and some other bullpen pieces that could have made it over him. I will bring up one thing that I think it's kind of weird, because if you just look at it from like raw numbers, like, yeah, sure, there's some guys that are doing better, but Melancon has meant so much to this team. And yes, he's way up there in saves. I think I want to say he's second now. That I could be wrong on that. But you look and you brought up the sticky stuff, Isaac. Also, how many innings he's pitched. Like, there's a couple reasons why he could have potentially, his ERAs rose a little bit lately. But it's kind of tough to start bringing that up, because it's not his fault that the MLB said, oh, you can't use any more substances, and that he relies on that for his game, and not even the spider tag and stuff like that, but just rosin and like basic things that have been used for so long. So there's absolutely going to be an adjustment period for him. So when we're talking about like, oh, he might fall off a little bit, it might just be kind of a slump to make some adjustments. So if you're talking about the All-Star game of who has meant so much to some of these teams and who have been the best performers, up until like 2 weeks ago, Melancon would have been no questions asked an All-Star. So I think that's kind of the case for him. I do understand if some people are like, oh, this guy should have made it, this guy should have made it, but that's always in the All-Star game. So that's kind of where I'm at on there. But anything else about these guys? I mean, I'm super stoked, like you said, Chase, most in the NL, so awesome stuff. But anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I just want to add, I'm kind of glad Tatis isn't doing the home run derby this year, but my goodness, when he gets fully healthy, watching him and I guess all the juniors, Vladimir, Ronald Acuna, and maybe even Otani, if all of them compete in a home run derby, that would be amazing to watch, because just watching the youth kind of just take over baseball is something incredible to see.
Yeah, next year he should be 100%. Hopefully he gets the surgery in the offseason. But remember, the next year's All-Star game's in LA. So Dodger fans, make sure you show up when he's in the home run derby and you're booing him when you watch him win. That's going to be a really cool thing to see. But very excited to see this All-Star game. Very excited to see Tatis, Acuna, Otani, and Vladdy kind of start taking over the game. This is their game now. It's the young kids' game. It's going to be really cool to see. But very exciting for the Padres, especially, haven't really had this many All-Stars I don't think ever. So very cool to see the Padres the most represented team in the NL. Just shows how talented this team is, how talented how far we've come from being a rebuilding team to now being one of the best teams in the league, with these guys leading the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's a perfect way to end this segment. So really happy for these guys, and congrats to all of them as well.